everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Golgari midrange. This is, like I've said in the past, my favorite deck to play, so I enjoy playing it. We have a very good matchup with what the current meta is. The only downside is we do kind of struggle and fold against domain, but that is what it is. Sometimes when you play best one, that's how you got to be. But other than that, we're going to play a lot of different decks today in today's video. So we're just going to go ahead and get into it. I hope you all enjoy. And if you do, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And we'll see you in the games. All right. So we're going to keep all of this. We don't have a second green. I'm just re-introing because it took a little while. But we start off the game. Looks like it's domain. Kind of one of our tougher spots to be in. Maybe bant control. Hard for us to deal with it because they get to go over the top of us so easily. We're very reliant on our man lands, and if they can't get there in time, then we end up getting overran. So we'll see how it goes. Golgari Stomper. We'll definitely have to hit this with a go for the throat. We don't want to take any turns off in being aggressive. And the other thing is, we get this in the bin, we remove it, and if they play the invasion, they can't really attack it down. We attack. Golgari Stomper out. We could have waited, I guess, but we really wanted to eat it now. What we could have waited for is, like, let this flip to night. Like, just attack it for 3, let it flip for night. When they play invasion, we pop it, which, as you can see right here, that was their plan. Now we're in a weird spot. I think I just played Takenuma, bring up Foundry, and attack. If I play Tortoise, I do believe we'll get Sunfalled here. Also, Dread Knight is fine as a draw. So we can get into attacks here. I mean, it doesn't really matter if we eat that out. Hit that down. I think the plan might just be to draw another card here. Find a Glissa. We have a couple good creatures to follow up the battlefield after this Graveyard Trespasser, I presume, gets removed. Or that happens. And that is just hard enough to beat. Oh boy. I guess this Glissa. Op one. Then no attack. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I don't see a world where we ever come back, so I'm just gonna pick them up. It's just like, honestly, Domain's the one deck that kind of keeps Golgari from being, like, really, really good, I think. As you can see, I don't think anything we did was necessarily, like, crazy. We just don't have the speed that you kind of need to get under that deck whenever you're more of a mid-range aggro deck. The only other thing we could really do is playing, like, a Nissa that's really hard, don't have a good leyline binding. Or we could use the Liliana, the Veil, get it in, hinder their hand, and then get it to ult, so we split their mana in half. But other than that, that's just a really hard matchup for us to win. So, all right, we have a good hand. I hit my microphone, so I'm gonna just cut it. But we have a solid hand. We're on the play. We can just start off with a Cottage. We can cycle this if they're a slower match. But if they're red, we're probably gonna Virtue it. So best case here for us is actually that they didn't play a Kamano off the rip. The Kamano is what makes it kind of hard for us to do stuff. If they played Kamano, we'd probably just let off with the Dread Knight as a 3/2 so it can trade up with whatever they play. If they play Swift Spirit, can block and kill it. They're forced to use the spell. If they played like a Felden, we could technically block and kill it as well. But we're going to play land. We're going to play Celestis here. Get the value of life gain if they don't cast spells, or if we can flip night and day. Get play with fire, they scry. They're making a decision on the top. They didn't snap it off. Curious if it's a card that they want, but they need a land. They find land. It's a forge. All right, well, we have an answer to Forge, which is really, really nice. Because of Celestis, we don't have to take a turn off with our land entering tap, so it's very nice. So let's get the Forge out of here. And because I want to present a presence, I'm going to play the Dread Knight. Honestly, I like this mono red player. They said nice on that, which is not very common. I'll say it back because that's pretty sick. We are definitely under pressure now. Play another one. We'll play a Tortoise. With the land grab here, it should be good to, as long as our Tortoise isn't gone, bring us up, attack, and then also eat the food. It's 3 mana and we'll have 2 left over. Well, we'll have 3 mana left over. So I guess we can even activate it and eat the food anyway. So we have like a life gain scenario. This is probably going to put a Wicked Roll token on Godric. Godric's going to get a double buff. Light error on their end. They could bring in the Foundry if they want. And they might just be attacking all out. But in my opinion, I think maybe they should have tapped Foundry for a mana here. And then play Scoundrel Wicked Roll token and just buff that like crazy. But this is definitely getting blocked by Dread Knight. Could see a Monstrous Rage maybe. But this still trades it off because Monstrous Rage only gives a 2/0 plus a Monstrous Roll token. And the Roll token only provides a 1/1. So Goddard comes in for a ton. Down to 5. Man, Virtue just not enough to take that out. That's quite tough. But we keep Tortoise around, so we get to do very important things here. Like bring up this Foundry and attack with it. We need, is Play with Fire better or worse than Monstrous Rage? They have 4 mana, so neither option's available. Playing around the 2-drop that they can kick. That hits. I can block this, no problem. So we have to Virtue. We have to take out the Phoenix kick. And then I would love to play this, but I think I gotta let it go and eat this food. And then they have to be careful because I have man lands coming in. Kind of causing a problem. So Kamano's good for them. The 2 turns, this will flip if we don't end the game by then. Gain 9. Go to 9. We'll gain life, go to 9. Oh, let's go. 1, 2, 3. And that's quite a body here. And we'll gain more life back this way. I'll return a card. Grab a Virtue back. We'll eat this out of the way. And then move to combat. We'll attack with this. Trying to close the game, of course. We'll hit. We'll pass. It's giving us a pause because we can technically bring up the cottage, but it'll enter tapped. Sentinel will block here. We have double crew up on the cottages, so we have 12 damage in play, right? Or, yeah, we have 13 in play right now. We gain 1 little life here. We'll just decline. We don't need to really do anything. All right, we bring this up. Bring this up. And we have just enough mana to eat a food. So, move to combat. If they pop my Tortoise, that's fine. Them waiting until we got both cottages up was a mistake then. Am I dead here? No. Actually, I might be dead. This will flip. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I live barely. Maybe they actually, that was pretty smart with them. I guess, I mean, we need a dead card. I guess this doesn't automatically flip it. I'm so used to that automatically flipping. Yeah, that's tough. I'm so used to when Kamano gets played that it automatically flips over. Yeah. Which, realistically, they didn't have to attack. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, they didn't have to attack, but they kind of had to attack because I'm just going to attack and they have to double block. So, I mean, removal, and a 3-drop that could get a lot of value. If not, it's just a solid 3-drop. 4 lands. I mean, I think we're fine here. Being on the play also kind of hinders this decision. We don't want to go too crazy. Graveyard Trespasser, a really nice find. We'll pass here. Esper control. Well, we know what to do in this spot. Jam this and hope it sticks. Make this appear probably coming down. Just so good if it resolves early, and waiting, giving them more opportunities to draw counter magic is not really where we want to be. I slammed the Trespasser. Nah, I play Celestis, I think. Yep. Hey, look at you. Have the mana. Play another one. But they probably have removal if I had to guess. No? Oh, they could just be holding to see what they draw. Very possible chance of that. You like to do that. They do. So they're filtering more than anything. Man, a land here would be so devastating because I would just attack intentionally. Just to force them to kind of interact. Let's just give them a target. We want them to be as little on counter spells as possible. They do have counter spells that can kind of put cards back into their library, so. Okay. It's the 4-mana counter spell. Now they could Emperor us here, but I would rather them Emperor us and then hopefully we draw a land and we get to put Nissa down. Also, getting them as low as possible to allow our man lands to put in the work they need to get the game closed. Very important. And also, when you get them in a spot like this, it's really, really nice. Temporary lockdown, definitely not the answer they're looking for. Field of Ruin, a good draw from them. Because they can pop our man land. Have 3 mana. Let's get this in here. We want them to interact with this if we can. They don't. Slam a Lily. We have plenty of cards to let go. Things like cut down and go for the throat and that nature. They feel to ruin our Foundry and they concede. Okay. After having a good start with a couple counter spells, we find a way to scrape through. I don't know what their hand was, but they had the mana for anything in their deck. But looks like maybe a little bit more catered to dealing with the aggro decks, and that's what's so hard about playing control and best of one. Is you're so ready for humans, which is everywhere. You're ready for Esper Legends, which these definitely answer pretty well, or mono red, and then you just face like the Golgari deck that every creature is super valuable and it's very hard to remove without discarding cards or things of that nature. All right, opponent goes first. We have some pretty solid removal here. We only really struggle if it's mono white and a Thalia comes down on 2. Looks like it's Domain again, if I had to guess. And we know what happened to us last time we played against Domain. It did not go too well for us. It did not go well for us. Well, let us play the Dread Knight. In there, big dog. Alright. So they fire off a Leyline Binding immediately on that, which means our Liliana has ambitions of sticking around. Oh, Topiary Stomper. Okay. Do we Lily or do we Glissa and try to pop this binding? And a little part of me thinks this Glissa might be a little better. They're forced to have removal early for it. I guess Virtue is good enough if they have it. That sucks. And Virtue's such a good card for Domain to have added. Yep, there it is. Do nothing. Oh, we have to do the trick. We'll wait till next turn, no? Let's play Lily. Start the production. Plus, we will Ben a go for the throat. I would like to have this land. Populate, sure. Migration, they go get their land. Now they're lower on cards. So they're obviously going to probably play this land. Island, I would imagine. It'd be second black source. Or no, I guess they can. Oh, invasion, nice draw. Now we got to worry about Archangel. We again get to do the really cool thing here. If we can get to it. Well, we have a card to get rid of. Immediately plus. Let cut down go. With their hand. Topiary Stomper. We'll play this. We'll play Sentinel Lost. I'll return a card you own from exile that has ventured to your hand. So I could tuck their Virtue. That might actually be better. Hold on. So the trick is to play this. We can grab our card out from Leyline Binding, but we don't want to do that. We got to tuck their Virtue because they have the mana to play it. So we're going to get this Virtue and put it on the bottom of their library. Turn. A little part of me wanted to just Virtue my Sentinel, but the Atraxa is going to make things tough. No untapped white source. Our Lily gets the minus here. They only have a green. Although they had to pick between Beanstalk and Leyline Binding, and I'm unsure. Indecisive for sure. I mean, we're gonna lose our Liliana anyway, so let's minus here.
One of your friends has to leave.
I probably should have attacked with my cottage. Yeah, it's a mistake. Oh, mistake go by me. If we find another land, we just slam Virtue, and then we start Atraxa. The Atraxa cycle. Which is kind of what we hope for. The best thing they could do is this and then take out my Liliana of the Veil. But you have a good way to do it. Well, I guess that doesn't guarantee it get taken out if they pop the invasion and then attack Liliana, because I can always bring up the cottage.
Luck favors the foolish, after all.
There's a Topiary Stomper. They have 30 basics in play. Really funny. Well, if I know anything, I'm gonna jam this and get it Leyline Binding. It's just, this game's just over, I think. That's a top deck so well. They're gonna Binding that away, and then they have so much power in play. So we lose to Domain again. A hero, honestly. All right, we go first. We are a land draw off of having like really good stuff. We play a lot of lands. Man, I'm gonna try it. This is probably a loose keep, but well, it paid off. So we hold cut down because they might have auras or something that can attach to this, and we want to remove in response. Yeah, I'm actually, this is weird enough to say, but I'm gonna remove their mana source. rather than not ramp into like a Nissa or a Ren and those type of things. They get really good really fast. So let's play a Glissa here. A first striking threat that is very tough for them to get around. This is the hard part when you're playing a creature deck and you go against Golgari. You have to just stare at Glissa in play and just pretend like everything's okay. So and you'll get to see why here in a second. I'll attack with Glissa. They block. Okay. So the thing is, if we would have hit, we'd have just removed all the counters from it anyway. So playing shielded here. May play lands from the top of your library as long as you control 3 or more creatures with different power. You may cast creature spells from the top. Yeah, so a little surprise there, I guess, but not really, because I mean, I'm just gonna let's just start hindering or drawing or doing a lot of that stuff. Okay. Well, you can see how annoying Glissa can be whenever you are a creature tribal deck, and that because I've tried to play like a mono green pile because I think mono green is somewhat strong. It's just like this one card just brick walls you so hard sometimes, and it's so hard to deal with because if you're just green, the only thing you have is fight spells or like deal damage spells, and they're not very good in like the control matchups, so it's very hard to justify playing just mono green. All right, we start off with the deck lane. We don't have a cut down or anything to represent, which we could, but I would rather diversify on turn 1 while we can. Looks like mono black potentially, so let's cycle this Dread Knight. Find a hard lock card in Glissa. Blue black, okay. Still possible this is like a Sultai pile, but we'll see. I think I'm just gonna play Glissa, force the removal. Could see Liliana come down, and that would be big poo-poo. What is the play? You miss a land. They didn't maul once, so they might have had to keep a sketchier hand. We'll see. They find land. Or have land, I guess. No attack. We play land. We could jam a shielded here. But I like kind of playing Virtue. See if they counter this, but we play around, make this spear by having this. They could sack this if they want. They do not. We're moving to combat. Attack. We'll draw a card. Graveyard Trespasser is fantastic. This is a card that can now eat out. Oh, what? Oh, whoa! Relax, everybody. Hold on. It can exile the creature in the graveyard. I've been told by my friend that I sometimes say stuff, and I think that was a scenario in which it was a little questionable. I mean, attack. And they have something. They didn't underdog to draw or nothing. Gotta have something here, I would imagine. We'll just draw another card. Oh, they're playing March. Sweet. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Now, I could play Tortoise and try to hit lands, or I could play a Trespasser and shut off their draw. And I think that's the plan. Brother, you are playing blue-black. Why are you sleeping? You have, like, the same creatures in your deck. Leave me alone. If you're upset about that, wait until I play this one.
No secret is safe from me.
So funny. Oh, man. All right, we get to go first, and we have, like, the hand. So, we'll keep. We have this for spicy needs. We have a go for the throw for aggro. We have a draw or a 3/2 that we need, and then a mana source to help us kind of ramp. On a white. Can we just terrace under this? Can you imagine? Like, this card's good, honestly. It gives a lot of value for another 1 mana spell. You have to spend a total of 3, but It's not like a sorcery. It's a gain life. It's good against aggro. You can kind of filter your draws. Unless you keep a sketchier hand too if you have one of those in your opener. A little part of me thinks that they're definitely on like lay down arms and things of that nature, so I'm just gonna cycle. I find a card that's potentially got no value in it. Path to Peril. Well, I guess it does now because we have Celestis in hand. And Celestis allows us to actually cleave it, but I doubt we're going to find the scenario in which cleaving this is good. We'll see them sack that, gain 3, and draw a card. Up to 23. Oh, they're blue-white. We just find that out now. Alright, Path to Peril's gone. For sure. We get to play around, make this spear. I guess we just slam Graveyard Trespasser, right? Just make it the hardest creature to remove. Auto-resolved. Now, I'm fine with playing the Dread Knight because the populate's not as devastating as it could be. Let cut down go. Because the populate, we get this back, we can cycle with the draw card. If we hit a land, we play Shieldred, then cycle with the draw card. And we gain a little life, even though it doesn't seem like it'll matter that much here. Just let us go. Yeah, because we probably let go for the throat go. We find the land that we want. We find another go for the throat, so it's like we didn't even discard it at all. Attack. RCTs. I mean, I'm kind of playing around, trying to play around a Wandering Emperor, but let's play a Foundry. Let's cycle the Dread Knight to draw a card. Ah, this is what we want. Let's slam Lily. The reason we want a Lily here is because the thing we're kind of afraid of, honestly, is a Sunfall. So we'll plus. We're just gonna work on this. They've had low lands, so they have to have a lot of spells in hand, you would imagine. We keep the Terra Sunder because if they Sunfall, they make an artifact incubate token, and we need the Terra Sunder to remove it. We won't draw off the Celestis. That in Gonjo, and they didn't use it. They're gonna feel to ruin our cottage. Sure. I think we have a Swampies to grab. Yeah. This is like the best part about playing like a two color mana base. We'll decline. Okay. Our turn. Decline. We now have a thing to pitch. Let's move to combat. Attack. Eat these out. I keep saying eat these out, and that is the questionable statement that I keep making for some reason. But it's alright. We'll figure it out later. We'll plus. Again, I'm not giving their Sunfall any more value that I assume they're just holding. They haven't really shown me anything. They've played a Candy Trail, and that's it. And, okay. This is what I'm saying. They haven't shown me anything. Okay. What if they wipe the board? We're still... Liliana's getting really close. We have a Shieldred. We have a Terra Sunder for something important. If needed. Because we can now kick it, by the way. Or... Oh, it is actually kicker on this card. Wow. You have anything, opponent? Farewell. Yeah, so get our artifact here. That's fine. I'll take my turn here. We just let this land go, I think. Again, holding on to the Terra Sunder while I can. Or... Yeah, I'm just letting it go. Here's my children. All right. You answer children and my Liliana. I'm down. I'm totally down to all my Liliana. Split these lands on one side and those on the other. We play another land. They gain life to make threats. Sure. They don't have double white here. That's all.
I'm done here. I'll be back with friends.
Sure. Let that go. Here, we'll grab a green. Oh, I don't like that they cover the card. 2, 2, and 2. 2 and 2. Cut off their man lands, but also maybe pop these so they can keep their 4 mana. I think that's the way I'd split it. I know I didn't make like decision super quickly, but or take time to make the decision, but they can either keep less lands in their creatures or they can keep more lands and lose their creatures plus their lands over here. And then Shieldred will get to attack if they let their creatures go. They don't let their creatures go. Fair enough. So we attack. Nighttime. Just get this down, I guess. Do they have anything important? Oh, they have all these lands in here. What happened with those? We get the Memory Deluge out as well. I could commit more to the board, I guess. I probably should have. Sure. We could have like baited them to sack this so they'd be out of mana here. But it looks like they're going to do that anyway. And the main reason for it is the fact that we don't want this to flip. We want it to be able to get in there. They only gain 1 there. They play a land. Have 1 white mana. We'll gain. We'll attack. Go to our graveyard here. Do we have any creatures? We don't have any either. I have no idea what they could play here. We have enough on board, so we'll let it go. I should have played this last turn if I really wanted to play it, but now since I've kind of committed to holding it, I'm just gonna hold it. But hey, we end the video with another Liliana ult. I don't know a better way to call our last game there, but yeah, it was definitely a weird one. They didn't really give us any information, as you could see in their graveyard, and then like this is what we got here. They had like this is their only lower to the ground spell other than the Candy Trail. Like we didn't see Make the Spears, we didn't see like Faithful Absence or things of that nature. So it was a very weird matchup, trying to like kind of flying blind for a while with them not really showing anything, or like a Wandering Emperor. So as you can see, I've been playing Abzan Midrange, which I'm on to reword. I kind of cloned my deck and then I named it Abzan. Well, I named this Abzan and I was like, wait, I can just clone the deck and then like try to make an Abzan list. But we came back to Old Reliable. Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is kind of one of my favorite decks to play. As you can tell, we have a big mismatch against Domain in their favor, not ours. So it's very hard to kind of play against that. Just kind of queuing up knowing that we lose that matchup is also like a little daunting, I would say. But I don't really care, like, to be honest. I think we're so solid against the other part of the meta that it doesn't matter. When soldiers, mono white soldiers is the best deck probably in the meta, or has like an incredibly high win percentage along with mono red, I think we'll just take our chances to lose the domain, which shouldn't be represented that highly anyway in best of one. Best of three, domain's really, really good because you go to your sideboard, you get all the options you need. The decks are a little less all in than they are in best of one. So it's definitely kind of whatever. But yeah, we came back to old reliable. I enjoy it. I kind of like where the list is at. 2 Terra Sunders feels fine. I think playing 3 is a bit much because like you start to lose value whenever they're like playing planeswalkers, especially in control when you have to spend 4 mana to remove them, and they kind of just like sidestep it anyway or make the spirit counter it because you're tapped out. But the cut down number feels good along with the go for the throat because we have 4 virtues, and then we also have Sentinel to get back to virtue. And we got to see today potentially, obviously we had to tuck a different card away, but we got to see today kind of the value that Sentinel can have. If like we play a Dread Knight and a Leyline binding it, you can play Sentinel in case you skipped it for whatever reason. But you can play this, and then you can use its top ability here. You can actually grab the Mosswood Dread Knight, or you can grab a virtue from underneath a Leyline binding, but you can also grab them back from the adventure zone if you just like want to draw again with Mosswood, or you just want to remove another thing against like mono red. 2 Lilianas has also felt good. There's times with Liliana you're like, I want 4 because the matchup requires it, or you want absolutely none of them, and that's because the matchup requires that. But at the end of the day, we kind of just roll with it. It's pretty good, so I like it too. Path to Peril is like fine. It's like I've seen it be bad a couple of times, but I've also ripped it off the top and been like, sweet, I'm gonna kill 5 creatures with this. Good games. And it's questionable, but that's why we have the Celestis. You could argue maybe like we can add like a white land into the deck, but at the end of the day, I don't really care to do that for the cleave ability on Path to Peril. I feel like if that's where we're at, we're probably in a desperate spot anyway. Or I don't know. I can't really think of a scenario where it'd be incredible, because even against Domain, the 3 mana side on Path to Peril, which I guess I could highlight it here, the 3 mana side blows up all the creature tokens anyway that they make and things of that nature. So yeah, I enjoy it. I like the deck list a lot. It's what I like to play kind of whenever I'm just playing by myself. So it is what it is. I've had a pretty high win rate, which I'm going to cut right here, and I'll tell you kind of what that is. Okay, so I kind of have the list pulled up on the side. One of the variations I had, I was actually negative. I was 9 and 10. It was my Ashiok variation. Before that, I had a Golgari version go 4 and 1. Other than that, I had a 6 and 1. That was very nice. Then it got erased because of the new season. But then here, where I have a best of 1, I was 19 and 11, which some of those I'm pretty sure I lost because I'm dumb. And then today playing, I'm 5 and 2, and both my losses were to what I think is our worst matchup by far in Domain. So overall, it's been performing pretty well for me, and I hope you all enjoyed. But I'm definitely going to call it here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.